Good evening, everyone. Welcome to yet another edition of Starward Bound, The Incredible Journey. We find our heroes in space, in the midst of combat. It's pretty awesome. So before we run around to cast and crew and see how they're doing this evening, let's just get all the sponsors and all that kind of stuff out of the way first. First off, we are sponsored by Tabletop Loot. You can go over to tabletoploot.com. And you can get a discount on dice, mugs, and shirts. I'm wearing a shirt right now from the very site. If you use the WebDM15 code, you get 15% off. So hit them up, support our sponsors. That helps the show. So yeah, we'll appreciate that. If you have that Amazon Prime sub burning a hole in your pocket, why don't you send that our way? It's once a month. So hey, try us out. You might like what you see here on WebDM on Twitch. But one thing you're going to start to notice, you might have noticed on the screen there, is we are following followers. So if we get 10 followers, that will lead to a viewer decision. There's also a tweet over there that you can retweet, I think. We're still getting all the bugs worked out on that fun stuff. But anyway, let's go around to cast and crew and see how everybody's doing this evening. So let's go ahead and start with you, Kiana. What's going on?
Hey, it's Tuesday. We're blasting off into space with the best crew that a murder robot could have. So I am back here as E44, your robot barbarian warforged, who kicked some ass last week. Kind of just murdered all the murder, which was fun and exciting for me, but also probably not great for E's mental health, having a flashback to their past. So, yeah, you know what? We'll find out what happens. Because honestly, I never know what will happen in these games, and I'm always excited to find out.
Yes, I believe the term cutting a swath was invented for what you did last week. Next, let's move on over to Greg. How are you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm doing well, buddy. First, Tabletop Loot. I am rocking some of their dice tonight, so we're going to see exactly how that plays out for one Ellery Tossbottle, who is the halfling arcane trickster that I will be playing. And to say that I have spent an obscene amount of time thinking about what Ellery is going to have done, what I'm going to do with Ellery from last Tuesday to this Tuesday is an understatement. It has been a beautiful mind scenario where I have had several whiteboards going and formula kind of floating through my mind as I think about exactly what I intend to do. And I have come to a conclusion. We'll get to it in a moment. Back to you, Pruitt.
Thank you. That's called teasing the audience right there, and you did it with deft acumen. Next, we're going to bump it on over to WebDM's communication director, Emma Lambert. How are you doing tonight, Emma?
I am great, Mr. Pruitt. I am glad to be here. I also have some tabletop loot dice. It's the kind that's called Stellar Dust, just for Starward Bound because we're in space. I've also been thinking a lot about what will happen because there's an element of tragedy that Hilda has no idea what's going on currently with her sweet baby Hamilton too. And she thinks she would have a strong opinion about it. I have also been thinking about how things would go either way. And it would be interesting. I'm very interested to see what will happen today. Maybe this is the day that we can make Kiana cry. I don't know. Hopefully.
Yeah, Kiana does have a bit of a rep for the waterworks. I've seen it more than a few times, Kiana. I'm sorry. There's nothing wrong with it. I've cried a couple times.
No, I know.
But yeah, I've been working up to it. We'll see what we can get to though.
Wow.
And last but not least, Trey, how is it going tonight, sir?
Hey, man, I have been thinking about this all week. Like, we are like knee deep in this It's crazy out there. Like, I don't know if everybody's going to make it, or I'm worried about hamster love and what's going on. It's woof. Yeah. So my name is Trey Murphy. I am the guy running Nakul, a half-drow monk. And man, the madness that's been going on can only be understood truly probably through Nakul's perspective, and I think we might have a cool little treat on seeing how that unfolds.
Well, now that we've introduced everyone, why don't we step into Nakul's mind as combat slows to a crawl around him, and get a recap of where we are at this moment.
Right. Yeah, keep that in mind. This is all from a perspective. So let's do this. This is going to be easy. Nakul notices a clearing between the fighting, a direct path towards Haskell Hawkins. He sprints forward. Now is my opportunity to end this infernal fighting. With supreme confidence, Nakul adjusts the fingers in his palm, forms a triangle with both hands, and pushes his key into a singular point. He targets Hawkins' nerve cluster just under the hinge of his jawbone. Haskell shifts his weight and rotates his torso while parrying with the hilt of his rapier. He certainly is fast, but he has left himself open. His second strike will certainly hit its mark. Nakul spins off the rapier's parry, grabs the hilt of his sword, and smashes it into Haskell's face. Better luck next time, old chap, as Haskell brushes off the attack. What happened to his accent? Is this the same man from Nero's? After being knocked out by Hilda's attempt to connect me to the Naogi tracking device, everything seems hazy. Nakul notices another opening, shifts his weight, and whips his elbow towards Haskell's neck. Haskell moves even quicker and sidesteps the attack, forcing Nakul off balance as he spins around. Nakul sees the battlefield from a different perspective. His battle high seems to have given him a moment of clarity. He remembers the dawn rose catapulting Ellery and E44 into the darkened sky towards the Harlequin's embrace. He remembers the destruction of the FTA ship, bodies adrift, ravaged by a pirated attack. He also remembers that he is all alone with the crazy pirate and his two magical buddies. Oh shit. The wizard in front of Nakul raises his fingers. Flames start to curl around the tips. Nakul rolls as the flames leap from the wizard's hand, lightly burning his arms. I was not ready for this madness. Towards the ship's deck is carnage unimaginable. Explosions are heard in the distance. Flames are spreading. E404 is flinging torched corpses everywhere. Cole is snapping necks and Xander's torching catapults and cannons. We might just survive this. Hold on. Where is Ellery? Nakul sees Ellery inspecting another catapult. Boom! Magical light surrounds the four combatants. The cleric in front of Nakul slumps to the ground. Standing before Nakul, a glowing blacksmith holding a formidable hammer, looks at the crumbled mass beside him, gives him a hearty laugh, and vanishes. Before Haskell can make his retreat, a bolt smashes him into the chest. Nakul sees another opportunity. Hands are faster than swords. Nakul delivers an open palm blow to Haskell's back, spins to the side, unsheaths his sword, and slashes him across his chest. He delivers another open palm and rotates out of the way for a final hit. He misses his mark because of another distraction on the battlefield. Is that Ellery? Off in the distance, a halfling is sailing into the air towards the dawn rose. Shit. Nakul hears muttering behind him, only realizing that Hawkins is behind him now. Shit. Nakul turns to find him and is instead hit by a thunderous wave. The force is unimaginable. Somehow Nakul manages to hold his guard, but Hawkins is too far away to stop. He disappears behind the doors of his quarters. Nakul picks himself up and looks around the ship. E44 looks like a burning porcupine. The ship is on fire. Coal is foaming at the mouth, cracking the necks of sailors, and there's a strange glowing blacksmith in front of me, spitting on the face of his hammer. Damn it. By the gods. Where are my paints? Yeah, appreciate it.
That was so everyone is now caught up. We are in the midst of chaos as the Dawn Rose has engaged the pirates of the Fuccaneers, of the Harlequin's embrace. And so we move on to the navigation room of the Harlequin's embrace. Its flower mosaic shattered inward, glass strewn all over the table, the floor, as these Dragonborn had entered. Ellery had landed in We were in mid his turn when he saw one Dragonborn holding the door shut from the Dawn and Rose crew trying to batter it in, and another stepping out, holding Hamilton by the scruff of his neck, shoving him into a pack or bag behind his back. Spear in the other hand, and he looks at Ellery. You might just want to get out of the way. And Ellery, you still have, I will give you 10 feet of your move, and you still have your bonus action.
You're probably right. I should probably get out of the way. I should probably do the smart thing here. But... And he throws a dagger at the bag.
Okay. So you're throwing a dagger at the bag. Are you aiming for the bag itself? You trying to cut the strap on it?
Oh, no. I'm aiming center mass at the bag. I want to kill the hamster.
Okay. That's one way to do it. So go ahead and give me an attack roll.
That's natural 1. So I'm going to re-roll because of halfling luck.
Gotta love that halfling.
That is a 16. Plus 7 is a 23.
A 23. Okay, yes. Seeing the dagger fly in, you see this thing slam his spear down on the ground, and energy erupts from his forearm.
It's not him.
I know, don't worry. Thinking the dagger is flying towards him, energy erupts along his arm and engulfs his entire person. But only at the last second does he realize, and you can't see his face, but you see his eyes or his head shift and look down as the dagger flies just past his side and slams into the bag on his back. Hang on just 1 second. And you hear and then silence. And he looks down, shifts his head back up at Ellery, and he just like hits a button, and you see like an apparatus shift up on his shoulder, long cylindrical, a crystal at its tip. That was stupid. And we're going to move on to Hilda's turn.
Wait, I got 10 feet of movement, right?
Oh, you do have 10 feet of movement.
Okay. Well, as soon as he says that was stupid, Ellery is going to say, yeah, but you failed. And he runs and jumps out the window.
Okay.
Did he just...
And remind me, did you have your pistol out in your hand?
No, when I went in, the pistol was in my waistband. They could have seen it, though. It would be visible to them.
Okay. So you take 10 feet and jump out the window. It is Hilda's turn. Hilda, you're on the other side, on the Harlequin's Embrace. I believe you're on the stairs coming down.
Yes.
Nakul is down, standing in the doorway, going back to the captain's chambers. Mm-hmm. The wizard, it was the only caster left alive. He had moved. Remember, he had moved up. He's on the other side of the stairs, at the top of them. He's casting spells and, basically trying to stay alive. As E and Cole have basically cleared the deck of the ship. There are nothing but bodies in various states of ruin, and that's the scene set for you.
Yes. All right. So, Hildegard, her spirit guardians is still going strong. So that's 10 minutes long, and I believe we are only 6 or 7 rounds into this, right?
Yes.
So, spiritual weapon would be zipping out. So she is is she within a move to close with the wizard?
Your move is 25 feet?
25.
You, because you're halfway down the stairs, you could move up to the top of the stairs and about halfway to him.
Okay. Would that be within 15 feet of him?
Your spirit guardians, yes, I would say would just be within range.
Okay, in that case, Hildegard will use her full move up there, let that hit Mr. Man, and just a moment. I have to collect my d8s. Oh, that is 20 damage.
That's a wisdom save, right?
Yep, DC 14.
Okay.
And she's gonna re-up her spiritual weapon. That's useful. And have it right behind the wizard. Try to have it hit. Yes?
Yeah, it's bonus action. Go for it.
Oh, well, that's an 8 to hit.
That does not hit him, but it looks like the spiritual blacksmiths of your guardians dealt him a telling blow. He does not look happy.
All right, well, and then with her unused action, she will think idly about how nice it will be to settle in with Hamilton for the night when this is all done.
Okay. Sure enough. Moving on to Nakul. Nakul, here you are. Haskell just ran in to his quarters.
Okay. And Hilda's pretty close to me, right, for the most part?
You saw her just move up and over, like, you're looking at the back of the ship, basically. She went up the stairs and over to the other side, which you saw. The wizard moved up the stairs on your left. She moved up on the right and over. You would see her guardians, like, over the railing, like, move in front of your vision.
Okay. Shoot, I don't want to ask about myself. All right. E404. What's her situation look like real quick? Is she still surrounded, or is Cole and Xander still tearing everybody else a new asshole?
I believe that there's only like maybe 2 guys left on the deck of the ship, but they're not looking very happy, as in like they're kind of looking at each other like wondering, do we want to maybe continue this? Okay. Cole is finishing just like taking a guy and like slamming him into the deck head first repeatedly as you turn around. E doesn't have anyone on her right now. Excuse me.
Okay. All right, then I'm going to yell to Hilda because she's probably the closest person that can hear me. I'm going to tell her I'm going after Haskell.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to... the door is closed, right? Because he ran...
No, the door is kind of... The doors are ajar. About 5 feet in front of you. Remember the cleric? He got iced, so he's lying on the ground about 10 feet in front of you into the door. And Haskell had run in and off to the right, kind of around a corner.
All right, I'm gonna go in, but I'm not gonna go around the corner, and then I want to do a perception check as my action.
Okay, so you're moving in and doing a perception check.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm not running into something crazy.
Okay. You
20, dirty.
Okay. So you move in kind of up near the corner that he ran around. Okay. And these are captain's quarters. Like, Hilda, the way the Dawn Rose is set up, like in the back, that's like the navigation room. It's your common area, right? And the captain's and the first mate's quarters are pretty small. This is like, this is a captain's quarters, right? You go in, there's a bed at the far back wall. It is lavish with silken sheets and the furs of various animals strewn about it in various states of disuse and use. And as you round the corner and look over to the side, you can kind of see like a wardrobe off to the right. And in the very corner of the room, you see Haskell Harkin standing there. He's standing on a glowing a circle on the ground that has some runes around it, and they are powering up. And he's holding what looks like a ceramic jug or of some kind. You're not sure, like maybe like for spirits or something.
Okay.
And as you round the corner and see him, he looks right at you and he's like, "Well, this is quite well fought. You did put on a good show, but we'll be seeing you around, Nakul." And he tosses the jug up in the air, and at that, he mutters a word under his breath. And slowly he begins to fade from view as the jug starts falling towards the ground. And as he disappears, it hits the ground and erupts into flame. And the wood on the ground, liquid fire splashes the wood and the armoire, or the wardrobe off to the side, and the corner of the room starts to catch a blaze as his readied action goes off. So you used your move and an action. You still have a bonus.
Okay. My bonus is to make a jump for the door to get out of here.
Okay, so you're gonna spend a key point to do a dash?
Yeah, I'm getting out.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's my last key point too. That closes my key points out.
Okay. So you see that. You see the flames erupt immediately as this jug breaks and the liquid, as soon as it touches air, erupts. And you hop out. Next up is E404. You are on deck. There's no real threats around you. The front of the ship is ablaze. The catapult is ablaze from magics and everything. I believe, Hilda, did you set the rear catapult on fire, or did you just try to break it?
I just tried to break it. I don't think I caught it on fire.
Okay, yeah. So just the front of the ship that E knows is on fire. There's no real threats around you. But you might notice that the below deck, there are still like ballista firing off into the Dawn Rose. And you still hear the calls of men down below deck, like shouting orders and yelling, targeting directions, and things of that sort.
Targets recalculating, and I am going to go downstairs because
Okay.
I can get down there in 30 feet to where I think the sounds are coming from.
So you only see two staircases. They're closer to the rear of the ship. The staircase itself is only about 20 feet away from you. Like, there are two of them, so you can go down either one.
Okay. So staircase 20 feet away from me.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, a good question is, am I hearing these sounds right below my feet through it?
I mean, you're above deck. Below deck, you hear, you can see bolts flying out from different directions. When you were coming up before you went into rage, you could kind of make out that it looked like they had maybe 4 ballista on either side of the ship. So yeah, from front to back of the ship, yes, there's,
Okay. He's raging. They're going to try to break the floor to just get down, because that's the way that this soldier barbarian is going to do it. So. Okay. Yep. So I'm going to use one of my attacks on the ground, on the floorboards.
Okay, go ahead and you don't have to roll to attack. So you're just striking a surface. Actually, if you want to roll an attack, just in case you get a 20.
That's a 22. So no, no.
Okay, well, as long as you didn't roll a crit. So yeah, you can just go ahead and roll damage.
Okay, that is 12 points of damage.
12 points? Yeah, you managed to splinter a couple of planks, but it's not wide enough for your mass to fit through.
Yeah, I'll just end up going over to the stairs then. So I'm not gonna.
Okay. Yeah.
You like broke. I can.
Yeah, you hit it once and you broke it through. Like I said, a couple of planks fell through, and you can kind of see down. Like a couple of guys look up, wide-eyed.
Okay, so if it was that big of a thing, then I'll attack the floor again.
Okay.
Yeah. It's again not a crit, so.
Okay. Yeah, so just go ahead and roll damage.
That's max damage. So.
Okay, so where would you say, with relation to the center of the ship, were you? Just center, off right, or off left?
We landed slightly. Yeah, we were slightly aft of the main mast when we landed.
Well, but as far as like center, like I'm sorry, when you're looking at the ship, are you more starboard or port?
Probably more. Whatever.
I mean, it doesn't
I'm
really.
trying to think in my mind. Starboard, I guess.
Okay, so a little bit further to the right of center. Okay. So you did max damage, yeah. So with the second hit, you managed to break the floor beneath you, and you fall straight down. Your mass doing the rest of the work, and you fall straight down, kind of between. You're right near the back of two of the ballista on the starboard side, and you look up, and the ballista that is at the front of the ship, you see that both of them have been turned inward and were pointed at the staircases, and you drop down like right in front of it.
Cool.
Like 10 feet in front of it. And they're going to go ahead and do their readied action to fire at the first thing that they see.
Okay.
As, what's your AC? I got a 22 hit.
Yeah, it's a 16, so...
Okay. So a ballista comes from like 15 feet away, comes flying at you. That's not terrible. You take 14 damage.
Okay, that's
As-
kind of thing.
As a ballista flies and like hits you on the upper shoulder, and it just kind of rends a piece of your shoulder off and kind of tumbles behind you. And you still have technically your move.
Yeah. Is there anybody down here that I can see?
Oh, no, like I said, you drop between two ballista crew. You drop between, let's say, like, number one ballista was pointed at you. You're between 2 and 3. So
okay.
there are guys, like, on either side of you, like, fuck! You know, you shock the hell out of them by dropping down.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get up all in their face, I guess, and bonus action aura.
Burn them? Okay. So you do that to, I will say that, because it's 10 feet, right?
Yep.
Okay, you can catch one crew fully if you move up to one crew.
Yep, I'm gonna catch all of them.
Okay, so 3 of those guys all take, 2 damage?
Yep.
And the ballista begins to smoke. You can also see, like, at the very front of the ship, it looks like there's like storage. You see like shelves of these kind of clay containers, like spherical clay containers, and they're on either wall right at the front of the ship. And you can also see like flames like licking through the wood on the ceiling from the deck of the ship. The Dragonborn. Ellery, as you run and jump out of the ship, are you like trying to jump like underneath, or like to run underneath the ship?
Yeah.
Okay. You hear a roar of anger. As this thing, and you also hear the thuds, the heavy thuds of running, as this thing just come. You cost me half the bounty. And like he runs and jumps. If you look back, you can see him jump to his ship. And as he does, 2 lights of 2 flames lick off of the shoulder cannon that he has and come thundering towards you as he is wow. But he is not accounting for gravity and you like landing back on the ship, and these 2 arcs of fire just like go on either side of your head. And he like roars at you as he's kind of standing on the nose of his ship, like hanging on. And you can see like blood kind of running down the bag and down his leg on the side, on his side. And He then yells something in Draconic. I don't know if you may have heard Draconic. I don't know if you can speak it, but he yells a command, and you hear the heavy thuds of the other Dragonborn come running and hop past him and land in the ship. And he's like just staring, just cold and statuesque, like not moving, as his ship begins to slowly back away from the Dawn Rose. And that is their turn. We're going to go to the pirates. So the guys around you, E, they don't like that you're standing next to them and burning them. So they all pull out cutlasses and begin swinging wildly at you to get this burning monstrosity of metal away from them. Does a 15 hit you?
AC is 16.
AC is 16. Okay, so only got one hit on these guys. So you're going to take 4 damage from a cutlass slash from behind you. It looks like the other guys around there are continuing to fire their ballista, as you can see the Dawn Rose moving like through the firing the windows of the side of the ship. They're continuing to fire. Hilda. Okay, that guy, you see him disappear, the wizard, and reappear like midship, about 30 feet away. And he is just, his face is like burned with radiant fire and like kind of bruised from the blow he received. And then he like wiggles his fingers again, and a lick of flame leaves and targets you. Does a 21 hit you?
It just barely does. That's my AC.
Okay. You're going to take 3 fire damage as he hits you with his firebolt. And that is the end. That is the end of the pirate's turn. Also, E, now that you're down here midship, you do hear like a female screaming from the below decks, like the very bottom of the ship. You hear someone screaming like, "I'm here! Help! Help! I'm down here!" Which I don't know if in your state you would remember, but they did. Y'all never found the body of the Captain Sokol when you found the Windcaller's remains. So you hear that. It is now the Dawn Rose's turn. Cole, seeing E pound through the floor, he bounds over to the staircase and runs down, and the other ballista fires off as he enters its range of its readied action. Oof. And he takes a bolt straight to the gut, and he kind of sits down on the ground a little bit and spits out some blood and like pulls the bolt out of his stomach and throws it to the side, and just roars, running at the closest port side ballista crew, and it looks like he's about to start tearing into them. Back up to the top of the initiative order. Ellery, you're on the bottom of the Dawn Rose. You see this Dragonborn ship slowly starting to pull away.
Distance.
I would say from you, I mean, it's only like, it's just started to back up and pull away, so it's maybe 50 feet.
Is that in the range of... It's extended range for my gun. What about the Harlequin's Embrace? How far away is it from my underperch underneath the Dawn Rose? Can I see the wizard? You're like
kind of right at the rudder.
Yeah.
As you ran under. So at this angle, y'all are, the ships are pretty even. The Dawn Rose is strafing by the Harlequin's Embrace. You're on the correct side, but you can't really make him out. You just can't see the deck of the Harlequin's Embrace from where you are. I mean, if you were to move closer to the side, you might be able to catch him.
Okay. What I'd like to do is, He said I cost him half the bounty, correct?
Those are the words that he said. Yes.
He said you cost me half the bounty as he jumped over.
Mhm.
Well, obviously that means that he was supposed to bring it back alive, and then there was an additional or a lower amount for dead.
That's a fair assessment.
It's a theory I'm running with.
Uh-huh.
What I would like to do is Ellery pulls out his pistol, kind of shoulder leads towards the ship, squints his eye, and shoots at the bag. He wants to cost him everything by blowing this thing apart in the bag.
Okay.
Because screw this guy. And I think I'm out of range. I'm at 30 feet for my thing, so if it's at 50, it's disadvantage, right?
Well, no. If you remember, the pistol itself, its range is 100/200.
Oh, well then, I'm in perfect range for this bad boy.
Yeah, no, it's extended range. It is a better weapon than a hand crossbow.
I'm going to use luck. That was 3. That's a 13. Plus, where are you? 7 is a 20 to hit.
Okay.
And that's 1d6 plus 4 damage. That is a 4 plus a 4 is 8 more damage as he pulls up, shoulder leads, and takes the shot at the bag.
Okay. Yeah. This guy, he'd wait, did you say you rolled a d6 for the pistol?
Isn't that what you said? Isn't that what the damage?
No. It does a d8.
Oh,
it does a d8 force damage. Yeah. So you go
and that's a 5.
Okay.
A 5 plus a 4 is a 9 instead of an 8.
Okay. So yeah, your bolt of blue energy like fires out, and you see it like catch the bag and just like it almost like guitar swings, the bag, like it hits it and kind of swings around to the front. And he like takes the bag and like looks at it, and it doesn't look like anything that is recognizable as far as like the shape of what's in the bag to you, Ellery.
Ellery will bow
on the upside down under the ship.
Upside down from the rudder, yeah.
Okay. And so yes, you managed to do that, and he
And with the movement, he's going to retreat towards mid deck. And if I can get up to the top of the deck of the Dawn Rose, I'll do so if I can. I don't know if I can use bonus action to get up there.
Can you bonus action dash?
I think I can I, with my cunning action? Yeah, dash. I can dash with bonus.
Okay, so yeah, if you were to dash, yes, you could make it up to get on deck of the Dawn Rose.
Okay, so yeah, he lands there after his bow and double murdering Hamilton.
Okay.
Hoping that nobody saw that.
Okay.
What happened? He says as he lands on deck.
Okay. Hilda, it is your turn.
Yes. So, Hilda is going to head back towards that wizard because she's had enough of him. So he's about 30 feet away from me, you said. She can only go 25 feet, so she's just going to go until it hits her spirit guardians.
Okay, I didn't say it. Sorry. Never mind. Yes, okay.
Yeah. And DC 14 wisdom save. Save for half of 12. And
yeah, so this guy, it looks like he was frantically trying to cast another spell as you just kind of stalk towards him. All this chaos going around you. And right as the dwarven smith is about to strike a blow on its work, it swings around right in range and just catches him across the jaw, and just his head just snaps to the side, and he's looking over his right shoulder permanently as he just hits his knees and then slumps forward to the ground.
Good. Is there any other enemy I can within 60 feet of range of my spiritual weapon that can get hit with that?
Your spiritual weapon? No, I believe there was only like 2 guys on the deck, and they were pretty much just like at the front, like with their hands out, like backing away from E and Cull, and that's why they like kind of ran down to find fresh and active prey.
Okay. In that case, then she's going to still just move it 60 feet in that direction because she's a little bit above everything. She's on the stairs, right? So she can see. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Well, if you were to move down, you would be like kind of at the base of the stairs. Though I will say, once spiritual weapon is out, its range at casting is 60 feet, but it can only move 20 feet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, darn. Well, it'll still move 20 feet in that direction.
Okay. It can pretty much kind of catch up right up to you.
Yes. How far away am I from E?
So the stairs that you're at, about 10 feet in front of you, you can see, there's a staircase going down. And you can hear the sounds of screaming and fighting downstairs. And you hear Cull like screaming in rage. And you hear the sound of wood splintering from down. And then, again, remember at the front of the ship is fully on fire now.
Okay. Am I within 60 feet of E404?
Technically, yes, but you can't see E404.
Oh, I can't.
No.
Oh, darn. Well,
if you moved a little bit further, you probably would be able to see E404.
Further away from downstairs, or?
Well, I mean, if you move towards the stairs and actually
yeah, because she was I was planning on casting healing word as I head downstairs.
Okay, so you don't want to move your spiritual weapon then, in that case?
Oh, the spiritual weapon can just move, right?
Well, you use your bonus to move it. I'm just basically letting you not move it and be able to still have your bonus.
I don't want to do that. And that made me be less broken than I think I was. Less badass. Yeah, so I'm going to use healing word to do that for E404.
Okay.
And move down the stairs.
Okay, yeah, so you can move pretty much like down about halfway down the stairs, and you see E404 on the right side. Cull's on the left. He's attacking the guys closest to him. Both ballista, you can see, were pointed. They're trying to reload at the front, the ballista. And like I said, E's thoroughly engaged with 3 guys. And there's some others that look and see you as you're coming down the stairs.
Okay, well, coming down the stairs, looking at E's pretty beat up, yeah?
He's looking really bad.
Okay, then Hilda is going to cast a healing word at you at 2nd level. So you get 11 back. That's like max. Awesome. And that's what she does.
Okay.
Yep, because she likes to take care of all of her babies, Pruitt.
She does. Doesn't want anything bad to happen to her babies at all. Nope, none whatsoever. As Ellery slowly slides out of frame. Okay, awesome. So that is your action. Nakul, you have moved back outside of the captain's quarters as you see the corner of it. The room from inside is being lit up by flame.
Yeah, I had used Step of the Wind to jump out, do the jazz from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air getting thrown out. Thing, yeah. So, all right. So with that, was I able to see during all of that madness? Was I able to see Hilda go down into the bowels of the ship?
Yeah, because you already moved out last round. So basically, like about 10 feet in, you see the cleric there. Over here, you see the wizard on the ground, and Hilda just walked downstairs. Front of the ship's on fire. The back of the ship's on fire. And go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay.
As not part of your action, I'm just letting you have one.
22.
Okay, you can hear screams of someone like a woman's voice screaming for help. And Hilda, you heard this when you went downstairs. But Nakul, you can like pick it up through the sounds of combat below you. that even further down, probably from on the bottom deck, below decks, there's the sound of a woman screaming for help.
Okay. Now, if I hear that and I saw Hilda go down below deck, I'm pretty certain Nakul knows that that's going to be handled. The next thing that's going to be on Nakul's mind, because nobody else is seeing that the ship is about to go super ablaze from what I just saw. Where is the navigation room where I can steer the ship? It's not in the captain's quarters, is it? Or is
it wasn't. I mean, you've never been on this ship, so your guess is as good as anyone's. I mean, they are at different places on every ship. On the Dawn Rose, like I said, it's at the very front, which is very rare. Normally, they're at the back. Sometimes they're in the middle. Every now and again, it is in the captain's quarters, and the captain is the one who pilots the ship. Yeah. So, I mean, that would be a guessing game.
Okay. Can I do a perception check for any type of signage that could point it out? This is a pirate ship. I don't know. It's not like it's a cruise ship, but I'm gambling here.
I'll just tell you that you don't. I mean, there's no signs or anything that say like Spelljamming helm this way. No.
Okay.
Spelljamming helm, room 215.
Okay. I'm gonna go down the path that Hilda's going. But I am going to be yelling for Hilda's name and then letting her know the ship is going down. The ship is going down. We need to find what we are looking for right now and leave. Or we can find some way to steer the ship closer to the Dawn Road. As I'm running to Hilda.
Okay, well, I mean, in a move action, you can basically be even with her. Okay. So you still you get to on the stairs right next to Hilda, and you're looking. He's fighting some people over here. I mean, there's quite a few guys down here. There's still, I would say, you would estimate like at a glance. There's still like 16 guys down here. There are 4 ballista fully crewed, which means 3 guys on each, right?
Yeah.
So there's still plenty of guys down here. It's just now the front and the back of the ship is on fire. But I will say this. I will go ahead and tell you, Nakul, you look at the front of the ship where, the flames were on the deck, and you get down here and you look at the front of the ship and you see it start to pour down through holes being burned. And at the front of the ship, you see shelves of these spherical ceramic clay jugs, and they look awfully familiar.
We have to get out of here right now.
And now that you're down here, you can definitely hear someone from a deck below you screaming, "Help! Come save me! Help!"
If those jugs go down, all is lost. We have to leave her. We have to leave right now. Yeah, so that's the cool. He's screaming. I will be screaming at Hilda and EO4 and Cole and Xander. We need to leave right now.
That's who I forgot. Because he's dead now.
Yeah, I'm trying to make the biggest scene, saying that, waving swords. That's my action.
Okay, so your action is trying to get everyone to leave the ship. Okay. E404, you feel a little bit of your vitality return to you, and it is now your turn.
And there's also a little bit of the...
Did your rage just end?
It did.
I'm sorry. Okay, my bad. Hang on. Let me click on a thing.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So
no.
Your coding, this has never happened in combat before, but your eyes kind of clear as you look down on these 3 grubby pirates with fear in their eyes and just swords at hand swiping at you, and everything becomes clear again. But as you twitch, you look, and you're back in that factory that you were before the rage. Before the time in between is maybe fuzzy. That's up to you whether you remember this fight. But before the rage, you do remember those images when you went into a rage of being in this perfect, serene, like clean metal factory. But you're there now, and the sounds of screaming and combat bleed perfectly from the Dawn Rose into this vision as you are in the same factory, but the walls are crumbling. There's humans running to and fro in the factory. You see one running over, like doing something with a unit next to you, and it powering up, and all right, go to the next one, and it's moving to the next one. And one by one, they're turning these units on, and they're walking towards the front doors. These giant sliding doors. You know they slide to the side and open up out of the factory. And one gets to you, and you feel like you're turned on, and you begin striding forward towards this door. And as you get closer, the door itself begins to buckle and push in, and then move to the side slowly and drop off. And the fog of war from the outside, from smoke and fire, bellow in. And as it begins to, the smoke begins to clear a little bit and resolve, you see a vague spherical shape kind of floating in, undulating like extensions off of its head or moving around. And as a large eye comes into view at the center of the spheroid, you see a smile crack below it. And as it begins to open its mouth and let out a scream, you snap back, and you are in the Harlequin's embrace again. And there's a pirate screaming in front of you, going for another attack. And that's where you are right now.
He is quickly assessing the situation. There are a bunch of enemies. There's a screaming Nakul. There are screams coming from below deck.
You can hear, yes, you can hear a woman screaming for help from below deck. Nakul is screaming. These pirates are screaming. What is your action?
Okay. So Nakul's yelling, we need to leave because this. All right. He is seeing all this happen, seeing that they're in danger, everyone's in danger. Just turns their head to Nakul and Hilda. Say, we must leave, but we cannot leave the captain. I will try to do something, I hope. And they're going to reactivate their rage. Bonus action.
Okay. And with your action?
Okay. So is there an... Okay. So either more staircases leading downwards or anything?
At a glance, you kind of glance around and you see a little bit behind you, not far away. You can see what looks like the grate for the cargo hold that goes down below. It's kind of slatted wood. They're small. I mean, the voice is filtering up through it. It's not as solid of wood as the floor of this deck itself, but that's the at a glance, that's what you see.
Okay, cool. There's weird things happening at each brain as they're trying to stay in control, which I don't know if you would want me to do something to resolve that.
Repeat that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, we were at 10 followers, so that's a viewer decision, so I'm trying to decide what the viewers can decide. So what were you saying?
Oh no, I was just saying that there's gonna be some weird things happening at each brains because they activate their rage, but they also want to do something that's not just murdering. So I don't know if there's a way that you want me to resolve that or not.
Well, I would say give me a wisdom saving throw.
That is a 6.
A 6? You activated your rage, and there are guys all around you trying to hit you, and you're like, termination
Yep,
protocols snap back online, and you kind of forget your intent.
Cool. So, all right. So, aura with the rage as soon as it activates. So that's 2 points of damage to anyone within 10 feet, and that is a 25 to hit one guy in front of me.
Yep.
Which is 6 points of damage. And that's a 14 to hit another guy.
Yep, that hits.
Which is 11 points of damage.
Okay, yeah, the first guy, you catch him in the side, and he like lands against the ballista, and he's spitting blood out, but he's still standing, basically holding himself up. And then you go with a backswing against the guy next to him, and you take his head clean off his body, and he just drops to the deck of the ship there, right there. Bear with me, folks, here. This is my first time of giving out a viewer decision. Okay, viewers, quickly tell me what the captain is down below deck. What else is... Well, I don't know if you are going to go down there. Sorry, this is really weird. I've never done this before. It's my first time. How many rounds does the Harlequin's Embrace have left? There's your viewer decision. How many rounds until the fires of the catapult in the front burn through the deck below and reach what Nakul knows to be shelves of alchemist fire? Multiple shelves. So go ahead and vote in the chat, and they'll give me an answer. I guess they'll put it in a poll or whatever.
This is gonna get crazy.
So anyway, as E slams two guys, it is now the Dragonborn's turn. Ellery,
oh man,
you're up on deck of the Dawn Rose.
I'm over with these guys. I'm not even thinking about these guys anymore. But whatever. Go ahead.
Okay,
I'm done with them.
You see the Dragonborn ship pull up, like kind of beside the Dawn Rose, and you hear a scream of pure rage as this main Dragonborn, he's the one that was sitting the whole time where the other three were standing around him during the auction. He's the only one you've heard talk. You see him screaming in rage as you see him take 2 steps, hit a button, and shimmer and disappear as he's jumping towards the deck of the Dawn Rose. And he kind of shimmers and is kind of fuzzy and blurry for a second as he's heading towards the deck, and then is fully disappeared as you hear a thump on the opposite side of the ship from you.
Okay, hold on a sec, Home Slice. So he's jumping from his ship to our ship, correct?
As it slowly started banking towards the Dawn Rose on the Dragonborn's turn.
Okay, as soon as he is clear of his ship and floating over space, Ellery casts Featherfall on him.
Okay.
It's a reaction.
Yeah, it's a reaction. Give me a quick dexterity save, because that is by sight, right?
Yeah, I'm on
what
deck
you see.
now, so.
Okay, well,
Right.
He's casting invisibility on himself. So give me a dexterity save right now to see if you can react quick enough before he goes invisible.
14 plus 7 is a 21.
Okay, yes. You cast your spell and he disappears, and you do not hear a thump.
Okay, burning spells, everybody.
And Ellery, Hilda, it is... No, I'm sorry. Dragonborn's turn. That's that. Okay, it's the pirates' go. So these pirates, seeing all these enemies now, begin to leave their ballista stations and swarm around E and Cull, and there's Nakul and Hilda on the stairs. So they all brandishing cutlasses, but you do see the guys at the back. They are reloading their ballista, the ones that are pointed at the staircases. E, you get hit. Okay, E, you get hit 2 more times. That's 8 damage. Cole, he gets surrounded and slashed. Hilda, you see Cole does not look good at all. He has various bolts sticking out of him, multiple slashes from cutlasses just all over him. He's coated head to toe in blood. It's dripping from his brass knuckles. He's huffing, and every exhalation of breath is a spittle and blood. Hilda, 2 guys come up on you, 2 guys come up on you, Nakul.
They need to make a DC 14 wisdom save or take 12 damage.
Holy shit, that's right. You still have Spirit Guardians going. Okay, so...
It's 10 minutes, Pruitt.
Yeah, that's true. Hang on.
Tear them up!
Shit. Okay, so the 4 guys that run up to Hilda and Nakul, like one by one as they reach the edge, and they're screaming, like an elf comes by. Oh, guy drops. Next guy comes by, a halfling smith hits him right at the hip, and you hear this satisfying crack as he like doubles over and just curls up in a ball, falling over. After that, a gnomish smith, fine hammer, cracks and just breaks a guy's femur in half, and he doubles over, screaming. The last guy takes the dwarf again, just catches him square in the chest, and he just there's just a huff of air as he just falls to his ass and then just plops back, his chest concave. And nobody attacks y'all. So I'm glad. Thanks for reminding me.
No problem.
Yeah, no worries. Dawn Rose crew. Ellery, you see on the deck of the Dawn Rose, Lauren, he has these guys in pretty good shape as far as like he's yelling for people to reload, and he saw the Dragonborn ship, and you see him yell, "Crossbows! Get your crossbows ready!" And they, like, 3 guys run over. They get off of reloading the catapult since they're too close, and they're all grabbing crossbows and just sitting there. And he's like, "Hold, hold!" And he's like having them wait. As more ballista. Oh shit. Okay. A ballista bolt comes flying in to the mid deck of the ship, barely missing E, and like it comes crashing through the side of the ship and barely misses E, and like thwacks into the opposite side of the mid deck, and so it's kind of just and just is sitting there as more fire is exchanged. And we are back. That's the end of that round. So that was 1 round of voting. So if we could get the... Okay, cool. So 1 round is down. Fire licking through the roof or the floor from the deck to the mid deck. You can see more smoke kind of pouring down. You don't see y'all on the mid deck of the Harlequin's Embrace. You do not see flames yet. You just see smoke. So 1 round is down. You know that this isn't going to take long, but you do have a little bit of time. There are still more screams from below. Please save me! Anyone, help! Please! As the screaming gets more intense. And we're back at the top of the initiative order. Ellery, it is your turn, sir.
Okay, so you said that the Dawn Rose was too close to the Harlequin's Embrace for catapults, correct?
effectively to fire, yes. I mean, you're only like 30 feet away. So that's far too close for a catapult to be effective.
Okay. So my question now, Pruitt, here's my question.
All right, let's take this journey.
Okay, so my question is this. I often swing from pirate ships. It's just something I like to do. And I know that when I'm swinging from a pirate ship, I can usually swing to another pirate ship if it's within 30 feet, especially if I've already established that I have created my own sorts of like swinging mechanisms on my current ship. Would Ellery be able to use his movement to swing on his pre-existing swingers over to the Harlequin's embrace?
Yeah, I mean,
the Errol Flynn boarding party coming in.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, you're not far away from one of your little ropes, and you would be able to just grab it and run, and it's more just like, it's kind of like a jump check that you don't have to roll for because you have the rope, and you're in space, so gravity's not really that big of an issue. So yeah, you can do that with your movement.
Okay, so I want to spin around on deck, get as far as I can onto the Harlequin's embrace as he swings over, lands on the deck as it's smoking. Who is currently on the main deck of the ship? It's Nakul and Hilda, right?
No, they are below deck. There's no one. There's two guys that were on the deck. They had basically thrown weapons down. And now they're running to the railing closer to the Dawn's embrace, like looking back at the fire, knowing where the fire is. You can tell they want to get the fuck off this ship. And they're like, please take us. We surrender. Just take us, please. Oh God, please. And I mean, like, they're full on freaking out right now.
Yeah, get the fuck away from me. And he used his bonus action and he dashes downstairs.
Okay.
When he swings over, and then as soon as he sees anybody other than E, who is usually red and furious and on fire at this point, he is going to point his finger, flip up the copper wire into his mouth, and say...
Well, I'm gonna save you the spell, because if you actually move down the stairs, like, you're literally standing next to Nakul and Hilda. They were on the stairs going down mid-deck, so you're 5 feet away from them.
Hey guys! Where's the captain?
The ship is about to blow any minute.
Please help us!
The captain downstairs.
Help me! And you.
Oh, there she is.
And Ellery, you finally hear from below deck, like, the screaming.
He was movement to get over, bonus dash to get down to them, action to get down to her.
Okay, give me a quick perception check.
I'm going to use another point of luck, as a 5 is not as much as I'd like. Okay. That's a little bit better. 16.
16. Okay, you're at the stairs here, and so E had seen, and you see the kind of the grate where they open it up to put stock and sundries and storage, anything they need to put into storage to lower it down. But you're at the top of the stairs, so you kind of like glance around and you can see a staircase, like between these two staircases that go to this deck. There's another staircase in the middle, like down, not 10 feet away from you. You could just like hop straight down there and start going down those stairs.
Yeah, he will. If the sound sounds like it's coming from there because of the perception check, he'll just leap over the railing and drop to however far it'll get taken down.
Okay, and you have 25 feet of movement?
Yeah, so I would have 25, 25, 25.
Okay, you can get down to the bottom of the stairs on the lower deck, and what you see is a fully stocked cargo hold, right? And in the middle there is a load-bearing like beam, and tied around it you see Captain Keiko Sakul. She's tied around it and she's looking up through the grating. She's about 15 feet away from you, and she like turns and looks wide-eyed She's got blood running from a cut under one eye and from her mouth. It looks like they roughed her up pretty bad. Her clothes are just like torn in various places. And she like looks at you wide-eyed and kind of just like startled a little bit.
It's me. Drink it in.
I'll do anything you want if you just get me the hell out of here.
And we'll cut.
We'll cut to Hilda. Hilda, you saw Ellery basically like yell that and hop over the railing and go down some stairs behind you.
All right. Hilda will weigh what Nakul said with what Ellery is doing. And she is going to... There's nobody... Are there any more baddies over here?
They're not within 15 feet of you. The ones that saw what happened to their friends walk into your area, they're staying back, and you see them like looking around, and they're actually like looking at the front of the ship now, and they're you see them start to freak out, and it looks like they're about to break, and like they're looking at the other staircase behind Cull, and it looks like they're about to like have a morale break completely.
Okay. How far away is Cull from me?
He's on the other staircase, so like about 20 feet away.
Okay. I'm going to give him... In that case, I'm just going to hold where I am because E404 and Cull, I didn't see them when I cast Spirit Guardians. And so if I get too close to them, then they're going to be in some deep shit. So instead, I am going to cast Healing Word on Cull at level 3.
Okay.
All right. And so it's 3, 7. He gets 14 hit points back.
Shit.
And I will...
He kind of screams in resurgence of vitality.
I will tell Nakul, I think Ellery can get her. I trust him. Let's get the hell out of here. And I'll tell the two who are about to break, you better get out of here too before I get in closer to you. Yep.
Okay.
That's what she's doing.
So that's your action. Nakul.
Okay, with that being known, with all this new information, Nakul's next thing is going to be how are we going to get out of here? So I'm just like a couple of steps from the main deck, right?
Yeah, you're like literally like 5 feet up the stairs. You're on the main deck. You're just kind of halfway between the decks on the stairs.
Okay. The catapult that Ellery used to launch himself back to the Dawn Rose is still functional, right?
Yes, but you know that it takes 2 full actions to reload a catapult. It takes an action to aim it, and then an action to fire it. You know that from your training with Lauren on your way out here after getting it put in and everything. So just that, you know, that thought process. All right.
I'm going to go through. We got 2 actions left right before everything goes. Maybe, I don't know. Shoot, I don't know.
Your characters don't know that.
Yeah, we have no idea.
Sorry.
All right. So the next thing Nakul is definitely going to do is the technique that he used in the race in the beginning before this all started with the sails. If he's close to the main deck, can I do a perception check for some rope again for whatever rope that she's rigging?
It's a pirate ship, man. There's fucking rope everywhere. You don't even have to do a perception check.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna grab a piece of rope, tie it to an arrow, and shoot it at the hull of the Dawn Rose. But of course tied. Keep the other end of the arrow kind of tied to me, or put my foot on it so that it doesn't just shoot off into space.
Okay. I'll allow it. Give me a because there's no rope use anymore. Give me a dexterity. Just give me a straight dexterity check. Just add your dex modifier to a d20 roll.
12.
Okay, so you're trying to tie the rope, and you just like the situation. I mean, your hands are a little sweaty. There's fire over here. There's all this shit going on, and you just can't seem to tie the rope off properly.
Okay. All right, and that's my full action, right?
Well, okay, no, I'll say this. It takes you a little bit longer than you wanted to, but that I was going to say that it takes your action to tie the rope off.
Okay, all
But
right.
you don't have another action to actually shoot the arrow.
Okay, then I'll wait for my next go round to actually shoot the arrow.
Okay.
Ooh,
So that's it. That's that. E404. You still have guys. You still have a few guys around you, but I mean, you don't know this, but they look scared, and it looks like they're
Yeah,
trying.
I don't know this. And
You don't know this. There's still guys around you, though.
Yeah, he doesn't care. The inner conflict is strong today. God damn it.
That's what happens when you make a murder bot.
Yep. That's a 19.
Yeah.
And that's a stress makes my brain not do math properly.
Is it more than 2?
And that's a 13.
Yeah. So the guy that you hit before, and he's like leaning against the ballista, looks like he's trying to push himself off, and you just hit him again, and like you kind of just push him through the main body of the ballista and crack it in half.
Cool.
As he crumples to the ground lifelessly.
Yeah. Yeah. And what if there's a third guy there? I hit him with a 13 if that hits.
A 13 does hit. There is another guy within your range. Yes.
Yeah, I hit that
he
guy.
He had moved up from another one of the stations to surround you before they started noticing all the bullshit. So yeah, you hit him for how much?
For 12 points of damage plus the 2.
Yeah, so you're like, you see his hair singeing off as you bring your hammer down, and like you just catch him at the temple. And again, you just kind of, that side of his face just kind of folds in like an accordion a bit, and he just like slumps to the ground, slightly charred. And there are no more guys, there are no more threats around you. Looks like they're all kind of trying to run towards the other staircase that those people that you vaguely maybe remember, maybe not, I don't know. Who knows?
I know they are friendly.
Yeah, you know they're friendly. You don't ever attack them when you're in your rage, so you know they fight with you. But yeah, they're trying to avoid them and go up the other staircase. So
I move towards that staircase.
Okay, so you move over towards Cole. Okay, yeah, you move over side by side with Cole, and you're kind of blocking the staircase for the most part from a rush of like 7 guys. No, 6 now. Sorry, you just killed that. Okay.
Yeah, whoops.
It happens. All right, so that's E404. Ellery, you are below deck, so you don't actually see this. Hang on a second as stuff happens that y'all do not know about. Oof. Emma, odds or even?
Odd.
Okay. All right. So y'all hear sounds of like battle up and over, right? Like there was nothing going on above deck, and it was pretty stable. But you hear the sounds of battle next door. Probably on the Dawn Rose. I mean, you aren't up on deck yet, so you don't know. Actually, no, Nakul, you moved up on deck? Okay, sorry. Then
Yes.
Nakul, as you're tying a rope off, you look up and shimmering out of nowhere, like you see this Dragonborn, and you see like 2 bolts of fire like come out of his shoulder cannon, and you see Lorne take a shot straight to the chest, and he hits the deck. Another guy, another one of the Neurospore red shirts, he gets hit fully in the face, and is just incinerated. Like his face is just gone. So there's that too. Anyway, sorry. But you see that, but also you see the guys that Lorne had ready, they fire off crossbows, and he like throws up a blue sheet of a shield, and it looks like one of the bolts takes him in the shoulder, but the other 2 deflect off. So that's just kind of what you see as this Dragonborn is on the deck of the Dawn Rose. And his ship is kind of on the other side of the Dawn Rose from where you are, the Harlequin's Embrace. And it's kind of just like strafing alongside him.
So this would be his first time actually seeing the other ship too.
Yeah, there's all of a sudden you see another ship. Like you've never seen this make or model, but you see the Dragonborn from the auction on Neros 1, like on the deck of the ship. And you see what looks like maybe like a sack or a bag hanging from his back, and it's like it's covered in blood. You're not sure if it's his blood or what. But anyway, that's kind of what you see on the deck of the Dawn Rose, as there's like a scramble now. As this guy just like is looking over at the deck of the Harlequin's Embrace and looking around and just kind of like, ah! And it looks like he's turning to run back towards his ship. So that's where we're going to leave off with him. Pirates, they are wholesale trying to like leave. Like they're trying to just run past E and Cole. So E, you can get an attack of opportunity. Actually, I'm sorry. Let me roll for Cole. Sorry. Okay, yeah, he pounds 2 more pirates' faces in, and so the remaining 4 are trying to now just break and run around y'all because you're kind of at the base of the stairs, and it looks like they're trying to run around you and up the stairs. So you get an attack of opportunity.
That's 13.
13, that does hit.
10 points of damage.
Okay, yeah, you catch a guy on his shoulder as he's running by, and he kind of stumbles at the stair, and his right arm has gone limp at his side, but he's like pushes off, and he's still like making it up the stairs, but a little bit more injured. Okay. Dawn Rose crew. They are moving to shoot at this guy. You see another bolt plink off of that blue light that is surrounding him, that shield kind of glances off. The other 2 bolts kind of just go into the distance. Down below deck, you see the fire start to lick through and come through between the 2 decks. A piece of kindling like drops between the 2 shelves. Smoke is starting to pour into the mid deck of the ship, and it's kind of starting to get a little hazy in here. And so you're now in an area of kind of light obscurement. So that's going to be troublesome for like perception checks and stuff. You can still make out the people right around you. If you're near Hilda, her spiritual guardians gives off light, so it's a little bit easier to see where y'all are. But the closer you get to the front of the ship, it's harder to see. Next round, beginning of the next round. It is Ellery's turn.
Okay, so let's buckle up here a little bit, because we all know that we have the mage hand out. I would like to pick the lock that is locking the captain to the mast.
Well, it is not a lock. She's just tied. Like, it's rope. It's solid rope. It's just rope tied up, and yeah, just so you know.
Perfectly fine. I would like the hand to untie her.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check to deftly try to untie this rope.
That is an 18 plus 7 is a 25.
Yeah, you are a sailor, right? You know knots like no one knows knots. This is a damn fine knot, but you're like, oh, it's that thing where you just pull that one thing and you just pluck this one piece of the rope and the whole thing just tumbles free.
Okay, so bonus action with the hand.
Yep.
Ellery is going to saunter up, kind of blow on the end of the pistol. Hey, my lady, let's get out of here. And he grabs her hand, and with his regular movement, he's going to take her up to mid-deck, which is where I can get with my regular movement, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I would say you can get just to the top of the stairs, because you did have to move towards her and then come back. So, or I mean, she could just come to you. I mean,
yeah. Come here. Come
She's kind of extricates herself from the rope and starts moving over, like, and you see maybe like she has a leg injury or something. She's like stepping, like, oh my god,
yes, just suck it up, suck it up. Okay. From bottom deck to mid deck, is there a ballista that is armed?
Give me a. You want high or low roll?
I always like high.
Okay. Yes, there is one of the ballista. It's
always go high.
It's on the side away from Hilda. So it is technically like pointed out into space right now. So it was loaded and they were waiting for the Dawn Rose to come around. But yes, it is loaded.
Okay, so he's going to take her to that ballista. And as my action, he's going to fire them both into space.
So you're going to try to hang on to the ballista with just your bare hands and fire it?
No, he's going to tie himself to the ballista. He's going to...
Oh, okay.
Use the mage hand, use whatever he can to fasten the two of them there. And while he's... Like, he'll pull his shirt and put it over the tip of the ballista. He'll do whatever it takes to just fasten his ass to this ballista. And he's going to turn the whole while be talking to her like, so what have you been up to? It looks like the last couple of minutes have been bad. We've gone through some crazy stuff since we left Mira's. The whole time it's just...
I'm pretty sure my whole crew is dead.
Yeah, we are. The ship was cracked in half. It was awful. But hey, you're here, so hold on to me. Hold on tight. Squeeze me. You might want to kiss me. I don't know why I said that.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So give me a give me another sleight of hand to make sure you can tie the rope off, and then she'll kick the trigger with her foot.
That is a 19 plus 7 is a 26.
So yeah, she had actually like brought the rope with her as she ran, and you just kind of loop it over the end, and some of the knot was still there, and it lassos right around the tip of the bolt. And as you're talking, and she's like, "Just please hurry," and you tie it off and give her the wink. She like kicks the trigger of the ballista, and
right before it goes, he says, "Do you like blueberries?" Boom, and they shoot off. And
what? And y'all rocket. Hang on, just 1 second. Let me make sure of something. Okay, you manage to clear the open window, firing window, like the arrow slit or whatever of the ship without clipping it or anything, and you just rocket away from the Dawn Rose from the Harlequin's embrace as you just vanish into space. And everyone, y'all see this. Y'all just see Ellery come up with Keiko Sakal and like loop the rope over the end, and they just go out the side of the ship.
Okay. Knowing how I know what an air bubble would be like, for my reaction, as it is now my round again and my reaction is back, he is going to cast his final feather fall when he thinks he's reached the edge of the air bubble. So they will stop and float.
Okay.
No roll needed. That's perfect. Perfect planning by a halfling. It is
perfect planning by a halfling. Here's the problem, though. Y'all are. I mean, do you let go of the bolt? I assume, or the rope. Here's my thing: is you're featherfalled, but the bolt is still has all of its momentum, and you're actually technically lighter now, so you would go further. But you could just like let go of the rope, I guess.
I can cast it on 5 things, so can I cast it on the?
Okay. Yeah, the bolt. You are still moving. It has some momentum, but you know. And I'm going to say that you are going to each take a little damage from whiplash as your shoulders are almost pulled out of socket. So Ellery, you're going to take 7 damage.
Oh!
And yeah, no, I mean, You strapped yourself to a ballista bolt and then fired it. Just the whiplash from that alone almost pulled your shoulder out of socket. But you managed to toughen it up. She takes a little bit also, and y'all fire off into space. I'm hurt. Kiss me. Hilda.
Yes.
Do something.
I'll let you. All right. Hilda is going to see that the room is empty, and she is going to double move it away from the room with all the fire bits. She can only move 50 feet.
Okay, so 25 feet gets you to the top of the stairs and the railing, and the Dawn Rose is like 30 feet away. So you,
all right.
You feasibly could go ahead and jump if you wanted.
Jump and float?
Give me. Right. I mean, I would say give me an athletics check.
Oh,
okay. Is she gonna pass me before she makes this jump?
Yeah, I mean, y'all are like right next. I mean, you see Hilda come up the stairs and start to run. Dakul's over there like tying a thing off.
Yeah, I was like, hey, you can jump it or tug it. It's up to you. I know we're about to get out of here.
Awfully suggestive.
I forgot the last thing she's going to do, if I can. No, I can't because I stopped. I did not have Sanctuary prepared today. Hilda is going to try to say before she does, didn't forget about you, I only forgot about you temporarily. Just going to say, E404, for all that's good, I hope you get out of there as quickly as you can. So just call out, get out of there, E, get out of there. And what did you mean by tug it? Can you be more specific?
You can either jump and float adrift into the ether, or you can wait until I fire this arrow and then tug the rope to safety. And you're at least tethered to something. So jump it or tug it.
She's gonna jump because it would look cool and she's never done it before. And she still has the spirit guardians up, so she's gonna be like ridiculously noticeable. And I guess she'll move the spiritual weapon 20 feet while she's at it.
Okay.
Because she can. Athletics check?
Yep.
16.
A 16?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, you managed to jump, and your momentum looks like it is going to carry you close enough to the Dawn Rose to grab the railing.
Okay.
And so yeah, you managed to like get a hand up on the rail.
All right.
As you kind of thunk into the side of it, as you're like,
all right.
You know.
Hopefully there are none of my crew members within 15 feet of that. I shouldn't have said that. Just.
Yeah. Just give the DM rope to hang yourself with. Yeah, there actually is. I mean, there is. There's guys with their backs to you shooting at a Dragonborn, which you didn't know was there. Actually, no, you were up top. You would have seen the ship.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's 12. DC 14 Wisdom save.
Okay.
I will call out when I get there. You might want to get away from me.
Okay. Well, you see some guys like trying to get out of the way, and one of them doesn't manage to get out of the way, and your spiritual guardians hits him. It doesn't look like it does full damage, but he does get clipped by an elven smithing hammer. Yeah, and it looks like it's one of the Eugenes that y'all picked up in near us at the keeper station.
Oh no!
Just Eugene, the human. He gets clipped.
Sorry, Eugene.
And he kind of tumbles forward, and like he's trying to pick himself up, but he like slumps back down.
Eugene.
Eugene. Anyway. All right. So that is Hilda's turn. Cool. It is back around to you. You see the front deck of the ship start to like collapse a little bit, shift and collapse a little bit, but has not given completely away.
Okay. For my action, yeah, I am going. How far away is the Dawn Rose from us? In
30
my
feet.
head, I thought it was like
No, it's 30 feet. Like there's a 30-foot gap between the two ships. And the thing that you've noticed is the Dawn Rose was kind of using its maneuverability to kind of try to keep out of range of all the ballista on the side of the Harlequin's Embrace. But the last round or two, it has kind of stalled, and both ships are just kind of floating a little bit. And it doesn't look like it's really, being used, or there's not like momentum. The sails are kind of slack a little bit.
Right. Okay, so the last person on the ship with me is just E404, and she's still below deck, right?
There's E404 and Cull are both below deck.
Yeah, both of us are right at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely still going to shoot the arrow as my action with the rope tied. Since it's 30 feet, that shouldn't be too crazy. 5 plus proficiency is 8, so that's 18.
18? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. And with my action, I'm going to grab what's left of the rope that's in my hand and run back down to where E4 Cull and is Xander down there? Xander's not down there, is he? Yeah.
No, you see Xander. Xander's up on deck, and he's already like jumped over, like he's already moved over because there was nobody left up on deck, and he saw the fire, and he went ahead and just ran over.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna head down to where E404 and where Cull is, and throw them the rope.
Okay.
And then if I'm still yelling, and there's no more people on ballista on top of the Dawn Rose, everybody's trying to take care of the Dragonborn Terminator for the most part, right? Or is there anybody with ballista?
Yeah, there's still some people. It looks like they're reloading. The last orders from Lorne, he had ordered a couple of the crews to focus fire, the others that are on the side of the Harlequin's Embrace to continue firing at the ship, right?
Right.
So the two that are on your side, those crews are still working. The other two crews have broken off. They pulled up crossbows and they're just like shooting at the Dragonborn as it looks like he's like running towards the side and about to jump to his ship.
Okay. Because I know what's on there with the explosive chemicals. With him throwing since I threw the rope down and I'm screaming at E404 and Cull, I'm still at the top of the ship, and with that, I want to yell at whoever's on the batteries to shoot at the ship to push it away because when it explodes, well, I'm just gonna say push the ship away. Shoot at the ship. Everyone on the batteries, shoots the ship, push it away. Push the ship away.
Okay. They nod and
and I'm just gonna hold on to the rope too and just hope E404 and call her.
So let me get this straight. Nakul, you're still on the Harlequin's Embrace right now, yes?
Yeah, I am still on the Harlequin's.
You are not running off and getting off of the Harlequin's Embrace right now. Yes?
If I can, absolutely. Because
I just want to make sure before you end your turn.
Yeah, absolutely. If I can get off, yeah.
You tell me, man. It's your action. I
went down through the rope, E4 Cull. You got to grab and get out. I'm out.
Okay. So, I mean, you were standing next to the stairs, so you could throw the rope down.
Yeah. I'm throwing the rope down and tell them to grab it while hopefully they'll hit the ship, push that out of the way, and yank them out. That's the goal.
Okay. So you jump over to the Dawn Rose. Give me an athletics check, since you're kind of close.
Natural 20.
Oh well, shit.
First time in like ever.
My
God.
Yeah, you jump and basically yank the rope as you jump, and you just fucking like fly across and land deftly on the Dawn Rose.
Okay. E404 call. Please grab the rope.
And as you land, you see the Dragonborn run, and he jumps, and his ship, you can kind of see it's almost like a transport a little bit. The ship itself kind of turns to the side, and it has like an open like bay area, and he lands like grabbing a handhold and he like yells a command, and it banks and starts pulling away. That's what you see. The pirates are not paying attention to Cull and E404. Wait, I'm sorry. I skipped right over you, E. My bad. It is your turn, E404.
Yeah.
So you heard Hilda yell, E, you got to get out of there. And then a rope kind of tumbles down next to you. It is your turn.
Yup. Hack. Okay.
Would you like to try to give me a wisdom save?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a wisdom save.
Nat 20.
A moment of pure and utter clarity descends on E404 as they look around and they see that there are no threats. Like your threat analysis, you're looking for weapons in the hands of these pirates and stuff like that, like as I would assume your little targeting whatever indicator or whatever it looks. You don't see any weapons, and you don't see like any threats around you, and you feel like a calm rush back into you as the rage kind of subsides a little bit, and you have this moment of perfect clarity of hearing the words of Hilda, your best friend, I'm not sure exactly the relationship between E and Hilda, but I assume it's the closest bond that E has. And those words just hammered through the rage and shattered it. And you're looking down at a rope, and you look over, and Cull is frothing. It looks like he's still trying to like go after these guys. And you are in complete and utter control of your faculties.
Okay. E is going to try to grab Cull, hold onto the rope, and see if they can get up the stairs and try to jump, honestly.
Okay.
Holding onto the rope. Try to take Cull with them.
Okay. Give me, this is going to be an opposed athletics check.
Oh boy.
You know what sucks? Is he's still raging.
Now. Yep. Don't fuck me now. That is a 23.
He resists because he still sees enemies, but you just like clamp down on the back of his shirt, and just like run up the stairs and just kind of drag him like hanging onto the rope. And you kind of drag him behind you, and he's like, "Oh, what the hell?" Like screaming, like wondering what the fuck's going on. And yeah, you manage to run up on deck. As this perfect moment of E like running towards the deck of the ship. She has the rope in one hand, Cull in the other. They look to the front of the ship as the front of the ship finally breaks in on itself. The Dawn Rose is still just like 30 feet away as a cacophonous explosion rends the Harlequin's embrace, starting at the front, and fires rushing through the back, and you're stepping and you get to the very edge as the very deck of the ship propels you and Cull like through the air, and you fly towards the Dawn Rose, getting tangled up in the sails itself. You see the ship rock to the side from the explosion. Everyone on the deck of the Dawn Rose, unless you're already on the ground, give me a dexterity save. As this explosion rocks the ship to the side.
19 plus 5 is 24.
Okay.
Hilda got a 9.
Hilda got a 9. Your feet are thrown underneath you as the ship rocks to the side, and fire and wooden splinters and shrapnel flying to the side of the Dawn Rose. And Emma, you have piloted ships before, right? And like when you jumped over here, like you could tell like there was no like movement to the ship. Mm-hmm. And at this explosion, you feel the Dawn Rose kind of shudder a little bit, and then you all of a sudden get pulled as it rockets forward and starts to pull away from this explosion. Almost everyone on deck goes tumbling as first they're rocked to the side, and then the ship itself begins to bank and pull away. And it does kind of a sharp loop away from this explosion. Ellery, you see all of this, and you are pushed you and Keiko Sakal are pushed further into space from this concussive wave that hits you and takes your breath away, if it wasn't already from the situation. And you feel like a rush of heat wash over you as the air pocket of this ship is kind of dispelled, and the Harlequins embrace in a series of and just shards go flying every which way. Hang on a second. Yeah. Okay, so Ellery, both you and Keiko get hit with shrapnel from this thing. You take 2 more damage as a piece of wood like rockets and slaps against your forehead. Trickle of blood comes rushing down your temple. She looks like she takes a piece of shrapnel in the side and gasps. And she kind of goes limp in your arms as she gives her consciousness gives away. You feel her still breathing, but she is unconscious right now.
She's not making death saves. She's just knocked out, right? Or how do I?
She's still breathing right now, but she is not conscious. That's what you feel like she took a piece of wood like right in the abdomen and right below the rib cage. So right now she, like I said, she's still breathing, but she is no longer conscious. And then Hilda, you feel the Dawn Rose kind of do a hard bank and then pull a good like 100 feet away, and then just like as quickly as it started, it stops and you're now floating free.
Okay, that seems very unusual. Yes.
And well, I will say this. Normally when people pilot ships, they do it in a way that is safe for the people that are on the ship.
Yeah.
You've never felt the Dawn Rose move that fast from almost a standstill, like with no regard to anyone on deck, right? Like it took your feet out from under you. It would have had they not already been taken out from the explosion itself. And so now you're sitting, floating in space, good 150 feet, 200 feet away. The shrapnel of the Harlequin's embrace is bursting in every direction, and there's a gout of fire that quickly consumes all the oxygen in that air pocket, and then just as quickly the fire kind of and just there's once again silence. And as you kind of look in the distance, you can see the Dragonborn ship shimmer and disappear as it moves away from the Dawn Rose. And we're finally officially out of combat. And
as soon as this happens, a blue force bolt flare goes shooting off into the black from the position of Ellery.
Okay.
Since Nakul is on deck, can he see the boat and measure the distance?
Yeah, you see from the opposite side of the explosion, you can see a blue bolt just streak into space. And you've seen Ellery fire. I assume you were firing the gun. Yes. Yeah. You've seen him fire the gun. You know what those, and you've had it fired at you. You know what these bolts look like, and you know Ellery has one. You saw him shoot out the side like before you ran out.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, you know.
So I would be screaming, Ellery is alive! He's over there by the boats. Yeah, because normally I would just take that same tied rope and shoot it, but if we could just turn, since we're out of danger, we could just turn the ship and go pick him up, right?
Yes. I mean, you know, yeah, you could go pick him up. One thing that you do see is you see multiple members of the Dawn Rose crew on deck, like in various states of bleeding, kind of writhing, screaming. You see Lorne over there. You don't see him moving. Again, one of the red shirts, his face is just like burned off. You're not even sure which one it is at this point. And of course, Eugene, he took a spill and he is not moving. And like I said, there's a couple of more, but the Dawn Rose is just listing in space at this moment.
Is Ledbetter there?
Ledbetter is there. He is picking himself up off the ground, shaking his head, just like, I mean, it looks like he took some damage from the explosion itself. He was up front with the you know, the ballista crews at the front of the ship. So he's taken quite a bit of damage. There's blood pretty much caking a whole side of his face, and one of his arms is holding limp, and he's just like, just get him to the back, make sure there's no fires. And he's like looking over the side of the ship to make sure that the hull of the ship is not on fire. I mean, you saw it from the deck of the Harlequin's Embrace. The Dawn Rose has multiple ballista like lodged in the hull. It has been hit multiple times. There are holes, broken, you know, the planks broken away. It has seen better days. And so that's kind of your situational sit rep at this moment.
Hilda, we need to arrange the injured and the dead. We need to stabilize the ship, and also we need to find Ellery. Where is E404?
Yeah, E404. You finally come tumbling out of the sails. Jar looking up at the sails, like her, they and Cole. Sorry, trying to keep gender neutral. Come tumbling out of the sails themselves. And Cole is still kind of frothing, and he snaps out of it a bit, and when he hits the deck, and that's when you actually like look up and you can see that inky blackness of the sails of the Dawn Rose begin to recede slowly from the edges of the sails back towards the front, and it just kind of bleed out of the sails, and you're back to its vibrant red, as you're just kind of sitting here, and the ship itself is actually kind of like listing, you know, what's that word? Akimbo? No. Yeah. Anyway,
Keening.
Like yeah. It's keening a bit, and just floating, just dead in space.
I want to. Nakul would go to the helms to see if we are still in control of the ship, and to pick up Ellery and the other new passenger.
Okay, so you're heading down to the helm room?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you get down to the helm room. You're heading down to the helm room. Hilda and E, what are you doing at this moment as Nakul's heading down?
E is out of commission. E had just done 2 rages, and as soon as they had just pretty much fallen out of the sail, they are currently just, you know, smoke coming off of them.
So yeah, you're
glitching the fuck out.
Yeah, this hulking murder bot, Hilda, you see E like kind of hit the ground and like start to stand up, and leg like gives out, and E falls to the side, and their head is kind of like twitching as they're like, looks like they're trying to look towards you. Hip, and then just, and there's just smoke coming out of the ear.
Okay.
And
Hilda will gently pat E's head. Make sure that he's okay and not impendingly dying.
I don't believe that E's impendingly dying, but just
No.
kind of out of commission for the moment.
Out of commission. She'll give you a pat. A little knock. I'll get to you later. And she is going to try to find the most hurt people. Probably go to Lorne first.
Okay, yeah, you go to Lorne and give me a medicine check.
All right. It was a 25.
Okay, he barely has a pulse. Like when you check it first, you're like, oh, and then you feel the slightest of a thump, thump.
Okay. I am.
So what are you going to do right now in this moment?
I'm just going to cast Cure Wounds on Lorne.
Okay. You cast Cure Wounds on Lorne and and he coughs up a pint of blood. And you kind of turn him over and you see like he had a piece of shrapnel like probably piercing a lung. And you cast the spell and rip it free and you see the wound kind of mend shut and scab over a bit. And he's like raspy breathing. He's still unconscious, but he is breathing steadily.
Good.
Nakul, you head downstairs. You pass between, you're heading down to the spelljamming helm at the front of the ship. It's basically like your quarters on one side, Ellery's on another, and then a couple of more quarters, and then right in the center, there's the door going to the spelljamming helm room. And you kick the door open, and you see Celestra on the ground. Her head has fallen out of the spelljamming helmet, and she is laying prone on the ground. Blood has poured out of her nose and mouth, and that's what you see when you open the door. She is not moving.
I'm going to grab her and hold her and carry her to the top of the deck and look for Hilda. But saying soothing, calming words. Tell Celeste everything is okay.
Okay. Okay. You have medicine?
Yeah, that's. I have my herbal kit, but I think we had like we didn't say that it could actually have any healing potions in it. So that's what we're looking for Hilda.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
for stabilizing.
Yeah, as far as like checking to see if they're alive and stabilizing them.
Okay. Okay, well, if the herbal kit can do that, then that's absolutely the very first thing I'm going to do.
Well, but do you have the medicine skill?
No. Actually, no. Yes, I do have the medicine skill. What am I talking about? Yes, I do.
Okay, well, if you give me a medicine check.
Haha! That's 18 plus 8 is 26. Excuse me, not 8, excuse me. 18 plus 6 is 24.
Okay, yeah, you get over to Celestra and you go to start to pull her up and you're checking and she is not breathing. She has no pulse, no breath.
With this medical kit, is it enough to revive? Or actually, no, I'm not even gonna waste with that. I'm gonna grab her and move her immediately, screaming for Hilda. And oh man, my little smoke out buddy, that's my little stoner guy that's a part of the crew. Oh,
Bowden?
Bowden, yeah. So
I'm sorry, I always do that. I flip it's Hoban. Yeah.
Hoban, right. So I'll scoop her up, Celeste up, and carry her gingerly while yelling for Hoban and Hilda, whoever comes first.
Okay. Hoban he's up on deck with Hilda, like tending to the more injured, as you see Nakul come up from below decks, the stairs that are at the front, and he's holding Celestra as she's lying limp in his arms. So I don't know if does Hilda see that before Hoban?
Sure, if it's up to me.
Okay. Yes, he's up there trying to tend to Templeton.
Okay. I will do a quick medicine check and see if she's alive or if she is dead.
We can still have conversation too, since we're.
Yeah, this is just all, there's no order or anything. You're just talking.
How much time does Ellery have before his oxygen runs out?
You would know that generally by yourself, you have a couple of minutes. Now, there was a vast fire that was eating oxygen. It didn't get quite to Ellery, but you don't know that technically. It was on the other side of this explosion.
How close are they?
Yeah, that's going to be my next question.
So you shot out the opposite side. I'm going to say that you are a good 400 feet away from the Dawn Rose. About 400 feet away.
Ellery is shooting at the Dawn Rose.
Yes.
Hilda will call it for Xander. Sorry.
He is, if there is a next turn, he is fastening another rope to an arrow to send your direction.
Okay.
Hilda's going to call out for Xander. Hey, Xander, get out of the pilot ship. Can you pilot ship?
Yes, ma'am. And he was holding an arm that Hoban was applying like a tourniquet and a splint to Templeton's arm, and you got this, yeah, okay. And he runs down and he sees Celestra and he pauses for a second. Damn it. And runs back downstairs.
All right.
And within a few moments, you feel the ship kind of shudder and move forward and begin banking and turning towards Ellery.
Okay. Good. Yeah, no. Hilda's going to assess whether or not Celestra is too far gone for magical intervention.
I mean, this is the thing about D&D casting and everything. Yeah. You know she's not breathing.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how long that's been?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know that. You just know she's not breathing.
Well. And what is the state of everybody else? Is there anybody else who's perilously close to death?
Yes, there are a couple. The ballista crew that was on the front port side of the ship right next to the explosion, they are all in various states of pretty effed up.
Okay. Hilda can cast magical healing one more time now, and she can attempt to stabilize just from healing medicine checks.
Mm-hmm.
That is all she can do. I think she'll attempt to stabilize Celestra if that's possible.
Okay, give me a medicine check.
Cross your fingers. Hey, 21.
Yeah, she's dead.
Okay.
She just lays there lifeless as you attempt to resuscitate her with a few dwarven techniques of popping on her chest a couple of times, and she just shudders and continues to lie still.
All right, I'll give her a sweet pat on the cheek. Say, I'm so sorry, we barely knew you. And go on to the other people who are very, very badly hurt.
Okay. So you move on to some of the other people. You know that you can stabilize them. While their wounds are, it's not pretty, but you know you can stabilize them with certain checks. As the Dawn Rose kind of peels around and is coming up on Ellery, you see Ellery holding the form of Keiko Sakal, just kind of floating in space as the ship kind of pulls up alongside.
Pruitt, as soon as they get within 120 feet, Ellery's going to flip the copper wire into his mouth, point at Hilda, and is Keiko still breathing?
She has shallow, ragged breaths that are slowly getting slower and slower.
He's going to point at Hilda and basically hold up in the 0G Keiko and just say, "Heal her," as they're floating towards him.
All right, if Hilda hears that, once they get within 60 feet of range, she will cast a level 3 healing word. Keiko.
Okay. Yeah, the ship pulls up within like 50. You're within like 50 feet, and you send out your spell, and Ellery, you kind of see that piece of wooden plank, kind of the magic go to that spot and kind of push the plank out of her body, and kind of sews that wound up, and it scabs over a bit, and she and she's still unconscious, but her breathing settles into a nice rhythmic inhale exhale as she kind of nuzzles up and kind of is kind of pretty much cuddling in your arms as she rests her head on your shoulder, unconscious.
It's okay. I saved you. It's all right. You owe your life to me. It's fine. It's fine.
And the ship pulls up alongside, and Ellery, I mean, you can basically like reach out. Looks like they're out grabbing a pole like they use to kind of pull people from, that have fallen overboard, as they're like holding it out for you to grab onto as the ship pulls up alongside. And Ellery, you can see as the ship pulls up, the front of the Dawn Rose, I mean, it is a mess. You can actually see a hole in the hull, and you can see Xander sitting in the helm's position, and you know that Celestra was flying the ship when y'all went into combat. And you see Xander sitting in the chair as you are grabbing onto this pole and like look up, and you can see Celestra lying in the middle of the top deck of the Dawn Rose, lying still all alone as others are moving to help the injured.
He'll hand off Keiko and go immediately over to Celestra.
Okay. Yeah, you see Celestra lying there, eyes closed, blood was trickling out of, you see it out of her nose. It was coming, like it was trickling out of her ears, a little the corner of her mouth. But she's lying there serene, not moving, almost like a hint of a smile on her face.
Does it look like, can I tell what killed her? Does it look like magic or like a blunt force trauma, like a ballista shot, or does it?
You see no visible wounds on her body. There's no bruising, no nothing. It's just, you just see,
being around Spelljammers for a bit, would he be able to think that this was because of the damage that was done to the Dawn Rose? She suffered it.
Yeah, you know enough. I mean, you've piloted a bit, and you know that when you bump anything and the ship takes damage, like that affects the pilot. Like the pilot takes damage. You don't take physical damage, but it is a drain on your psyche. And I mean, again, you saw the Dawn Rose when it was pulling about. I mean, it looks almost like a porcupine. There are ballista on either side of it, multiple. The front of the ship is pretty wrecked. A couple of the sails are slightly singed. That's.
Ellery's going to stand up when he sees her like that, and for a moment he's going to reach down and kind of like touch the side of her face, and he's going to stand up and look for Ledbetter.
Okay. You see Ledbetter near the front. He's still trying to help the wounded, but Hoban is like insisting that he sit down. Like one of his arms is bandaged in multiple places, and it looks like it's severely broken. He's just set it right there. He has, like I said, half of his face is just caked in blood, and he's finally like relenting and moves over to the opposite side of the ship and leans against the rail as you are walking up to him.
So what? You don't even watch the people that are flying the ship?
and Templeton like looks over. He's like, I'm sorry. What'd you just say to me?
Are you green? Look at this ship, Ledbetter.
Yeah.
It's peppered with ballista, and you left her on the chair.
Yeah. Usually you do with the pilot who's flying the ship when you're going up against something that has a hell of a lot more armament than you do. She did a damn fine job, if you ask me.
You
Ship
let her
still
die.
Well, I didn't let her die. I'm sorry that she's dead. I wasn't expecting a fucking ship to explode right next to us. That's probably what did it.
You got to expect everything. You were supposed to be captain, weren't you, Ledbetter?
Yeah, I've been captain longer than you've been alive.
Huh. Well, you're the captain of two things right now, Jack and shit, and Jack just left town. Hilda left you in charge of this boat, and all you did was rut it up. And you got her killed. That's on you.
Okay. Well, I follow the orders of my captain, and a vastly overpowered enemy we decided to run right up on, and y'all hopped on a catapult, I believe, and shot over to a ship. Now, if you'd asked me, I would have just rammed that fucker right away. Then they can't shoot us at all. And then we just have a nice old boarding action. But that's not what happened, because I follow orders. Toss bottle.
What happens to the pilot when you ram a ship? Would-be captain?
Well, I'm not sure, but it probably hurts a hell of a lot less than a shitload of ballista bolts and an explosion.
All right, Ledbetter.
Mm-hmm.
You know everything. You know how to watch your crew die. You know how to not win a battle. My friends and I do. And that's why we went over and did it. We left you with a simple job to keep people alive, and you failed. You failed to keep her alive.
Listen, Toss Bottle, I know you're upset right now, but I think we all did about as good as we could under the circumstances. There's a hell of a lot more of them dead than there are ours.
You're a loser. He walks off.
And he goes back to, he kind of gives Ellery another look, and then, all right, let's get these wounded below deck. And goes back to trying to triage the wounded.
Hilda, I think I have an idea.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to like this, but before whatever that ship was that attacked, the Dragonborn, before they get too far, hook me up to the Niyogi tracking device again. We need to see where they are going. I also saw something very odd. Just before Haskell blew the ship up, he stood in a weird circular ritual-like place before he dropped the explosives and disappeared before the explosives hit the ground. I have no idea where he could have gone. But if it is possible that he could have gone someplace maybe not too far from us, the Niyogi, the Niyogi tracker might be able to find either him or the Dragonborn.
Well, cool. I think that's a good idea. Make sure everybody's as stable as they can be first. And you too. I don't have any way of making you better.
I know. I'm only making haste because I don't know how fast we do not know how fast the other ship is moving, and we do not know the exact whereabouts of Haskell.
Well, is everybody stable who's going to be stable at this point?
Yeah, I mean,
That's what Hilda's doing.
Yeah, after a couple of minutes, you manage to stabilize, everybody that needs to be stabilized. And at that point, it's just like properly dressing their wounds, which Hoban, he can take care of most of. There's a couple people that know general, like general first aid. They have the medicine skill, and so they're wrapping up broken limbs, treating burns with poultices and everything from Hoban's stash. He's even given a couple of them like tokes on and the smell of blueberries kind of fills the deck of the Dawn Rose as they kind of sit back and their eyes go a little slack in an opium haze. And for the most part, all the wounded, all told right now, you lost 5 total. Celestra did not make it. Three of the red shirts total from Nero's Gate didn't make it. And Trip, I forgot his name already. Frederick, which he was one of the guys you picked up in Keeper Station. He was one of Cole's guys, but he was part of that ballista crew up front. And I mean, it's more of a process of elimination to identify Frederick, because he was closest to the railing. And so everybody's pretty much stabilized that can be, and they're being tended to now.
Okay, in that case, cool. Yeah, let me. I need some more copper wire. So she walks into her captain's quarters.
Also,
You walk into your captain's quarters, and the door to your quarters is thrown open. The lock is broken. You don't see Hamilton anywhere, because normally when you open the door, he and kind of comes bounding over to you. But you also see Castor lying on the ground, a small streak of blood at his temple.
I will run over to him.
He is breathing. It looks like he's just knocked out, like he's unconscious. But he's alive.
Okay. I will put him in my bed.
Okay.
And look around a little bit for Hamilton. And just sort of fog for. I'm sure he's got to be somewhere. I get that wire and ask Nakul, have you seen Hellion anywhere?
I've not checked. Last I checked, he was by the catapult. Let me check my quarters.
Okay. I'll meet you in the pilot station.
Excellent.
Okay. Yeah. So you're gathering up the tracker, Hilda.
Yes.
Cool. You go downstairs, and you're going to your quarters. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. You go to your quarters, and the door is slightly ajar, and you quickly look around, and at first you don't see Hellion until you finally look under the bed, and he's kind of in the corner, just like you can see him shivering, shaking.
Okay, hey, there, little guy. There are no more booms. Everything is okay.
And at seeing you, he and just scrambles over to you and almost jumps in your arms.
Yes, I missed you too, little guy. Yes.
Sniffing at your ear and just giving you little hamster kisses and just licking your face and your ear and just completely just he hasn't seen, he knows exactly who you are and he's never seen you. Just the first time meeting.
Yes, I missed you too, little guy. Here, I always keep your snacks up close. Pull a little piece of lettuce or his Hellion kibble. Feed him some, and I'm going to take him with me to the navigation room. Would that still be at the helm? Yeah.
Well, she said meet you at the helm. So that's at the front of the ship, right next to your door, right next to your quarters.
So all right, so I'll scoop Hellion up. He'll still be on my shoulder, and I'll feed him and walk over, relieved, but also a little anxious that he knows what's about to happen next.
Yeah, and then you see Hilda coming downstairs with the big, carrying it, it's almost like the size of a large suitcase, so but you're a dwarf and you have a decent strength, so you can carry it. And yeah, y'all go down to the helm's room.
Before we get started, hold on. He goes to his pouch, rolls one up. This can be a little unbearable at times. It's gonna take a long, hard pull. But Hilda, I have all the faith in you as my friend, and most of all as my captain. Let us.
Okay.
Means a lot today, Nakul.
All right. So you're gonna try to do what you did before and hook Nakul up to this life scanner.
She's going to do a little bit more poking and prodding before she does it. She's trying to find where your nerve clusters are.
Okay.
So she's going to take out a little needle and be like, "Does this hurt?"
Yes.
The more good.
Yes,
Okay, if I
okay.
do it here, does it hurt more?
Okay.
Is it less? Okay, it's not good.
That is better.
Okay, then we need to go to the place where it hurts the most.
There, right there.
There we go.
That's it, right there.
Excellent. All right. So she hooks it all up, and all right. You sure you want to do this?
Yes, but don't warn me when you pull the trigger. Just you.
Okay, do it right now.
Okay, Nakul, give me a wisdom save.
20 again. Crit. Yeah. It's a full ball net.
Okay.
Buddy.
All right. Yeah, Nakul, you kind of center yourself and take a deep breath, and you feel like this electricity thrum through you, up your arms, into your temples, and they meet at your chest, and then reverberate back up, and you feel like this pulse moving through your body, like slow and steady. And it's at this moment, Nakul, as you kind of fall within yourself.
Okay.
You're not being knocked out like you did before.
Okay.
You're in control of this.
Okay.
But you feel your consciousness being thrown from your body. You feel it being tossed across like space and time. You're heading towards the asteroid belt, but space around you isn't like the same. It's not space, right? There's like kind of a brownish haze that hangs in the air, and these asteroids are floating in them. And you look at these drifting rocks that are floating, and you recognize the hue of the rocks. Like they're like, y'all were just near this asteroid belt, right? And these rocks are the same hue, same color. And the space around them is kind of like this brownish, kind of goes from the rocks themselves have kind of a reddish kind of rust or maybe dried blood, you're not sure. But you hear like this in the distance, you hear like a moaning, like a low drone. And you move deeper into the field of asteroids, and you could have sworn that one of them moves and a head comes up and looks around, but as soon as it does, a leg comes out of nowhere and like pushes the head back down into the rock. And more of the asteroids begin to move, and you realize that they are people, and they're trying to uncurl themselves from like a fetal position. And as they try to, these legs begin one by one pushing them back into their original forms, subjugating them back into rocks. And as you look at these legs, you begin to like look up at their source, and the haze kind of begins to part. And you look up and you see that this is a Nyogi, a very familiar Nyogi. It is the Nyogi that you have seen in your dreams. It is the one that in your last dream turned and you looked and saw the reflection of yourself, and you see that same reflection. You see a chain hanging from its neck with this square emblem with the red ruby at the heart of this square token. And it is stepping on these asteroids, not looking at them, but seeing one move and begin to move its head up, and it just shifts a leg and pushes the head back down, and it becomes an asteroid once more. Ooh. And this Nyogi turns down, looks at you, and a smile cracks its face. Nakul, welcome.
Who are you?
You know me. Our minds have touched. And in the back of your consciousness, you can feel that same chittering, that almost like a cackle. Almost now it sounds like a chuckle that this voice would make. And when you think back to all those times that you heard that, and you look at this beast in front of you, this Nyogi, and you can hear it You find yourself here, Daku.
Here, I will find you. Where is here?
Look around. Where are we, Daku?
The people. What do you want from me?
You should leave this place. It will only bring you misery. It will only be your folly, your downfall.
I am not scared of you. I will find you.
That I do not doubt, valiant warrior. But you have so much to look for. What about your mother?
My mother?
What about your father?
What do you know of them?
I know that you seek them. And as y'all have been talking, you have noticed that your sizes have started to, as you engage with this beast, your sizes have begun to equalize. And you look at him, and he is a Nogi like the one that you fought. He is pretty much your size. You're a little taller than him. He still is standing. Now he is standing on a single asteroid as he is shifting his feet, as this asteroid is trying to unfurl itself and like push itself up. And he pushes its head and its arms back down and form it back into its form, this kind of kidney bean shaped asteroid. You should leave this place. Find them while you still can. There will be time for us. I am always here, Nakul. Always watching. And you open your eyes, and you're in the helm's room of the Dawn Rose. This energy thrumming between your head and your wrists. And Hilda, you see a very faint dot. It's barely registering. It is more than likely the Dragonborn ship, and it is making haste away from your location. It looks like it's heading in the direction of the sun, the Nero sun, and like all the planets that kind of that are over there in their orbital rotation at this point. But since y'all have moved closer to the asteroid belt, at the very edge of range, you see the slightest blip before Nakul slams his eyes open. And because of it, it kind of sends feedback up to the life scanner, and there's a bit of a flicker on the screen and some smoke, and the lights go out on it as you're staring at one another. And I think that's a good place to leave off for tonight. It's a little early, but it's been a big night. We've been through a lot together. And so with that, we will call it until next week, and y'all can figure out where you want to head from here. Whoo! My throat's a little rusty. That was
so good.
that was an interesting one. So let's go around to cast and crew. Tell us what you think. Tell us where you think it's going. Trey, let's always do reverse order. Starting with you, brother.
Why do you leave me here wanting more? Why? It's too good.
I know somebody quoted something about always leaving them wanting more or some shit like that. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Everything from the epic battle to the conclusion to boats blowing up, Ellery getting shot into space, E404 losing her mind till it cracks and smoke, and it's carnage and mystery ships. We still don't even know what's going on with the hamsters. I mean, this is chaos. It is beautiful, beautiful chaos. Thank you. This is great. This is a beautiful thing, man. I tip my hat to this amazing cast and crew. Give me a moment. Okay. My name is Trey Murphy. You can reach me on Instagram at Chantel, and also at Chantel on Twitter. Please support Lights Camera Discover. It's the storytelling process that we teach the kids so they can learn to be creative and come up with amazing, beautiful worlds such as this. Thank you to everybody that has chimed in the comments and in the chat section. Everything you guys say is golden, and it's all love. Man, the production team, man, you guys did it. Thank you. Definitely looking forward to next week.
I'm always looking forward to next week when it comes to this crew, man. Emma. Woo!
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That hit me right in the feels. I think it had to for everybody else. Oh, and really, in some ways, is not the greatest tragedy still looming. We have the pieces set in place for some terrible things to happen. And I can't wait for them to happen. It's going to be great. Yeah, that was heavy. That at the end, I'm thoroughly creeped out. I'm very thoroughly creeped out. So much so, I can't even remember everything else I'm supposed to say. I am the communications director for WebDM. You can reach me on WebDM's Twitter and Facebook and everywhere else. I am running a charity game on June 24th. Do you like Guy Fieri or do you like to hate Guy Fieri? Then this is for you. Dungeons, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, Escape from Flavor Town, our very first charity game representing Women in Tabletop Gaming Month, benefiting the Girls Empowerment Network in Austin, Texas. We've got a bunch of great people who are on the screen right now. Look at their pretty faces. We're going to do that 1 p.m. Sunday, the 24th. Please join us. There is a giveaway on right now on our Twitter. If you like dice, like the pretty dice we've all been using on Tabletop Loot today, go get in that giveaway. Thank you very much. And we'll see you next week for emotional difficulty.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. Moving on over to Greg. Greg, how you doing, man?
Amazing episode. From Trey's captain's log to Trey dropping the Niyogi dream sequence. It was fan-effing-tastic. It was amazing. Normally I don't like to be away from you all because I like to interact with Ellery. Today, I just sat back and just listened. I was front row to a fantastic story, and I absolutely loved it. You guys slayed tonight. Pruitt, you kicked absolute ass. That Niyogi was creepy as shit, and the hardest thing to do as a dungeon master, game master, keeper is to stay true to the narrative and say, you're not saving everybody. Pick it. Pick the deaths. This is D&D. You're going to save somebody because of magic and horseshit, but you're not going to save them all because you can't be in two places at once. And that's the best. When you reach that line for the narrative where it works with the story, buddy, masterful job. And just like what Trey said, production crew on point. I was sitting there during the dream sequence watching the pictures of the dream sequence appear on the goddamn screen.
Yeah.
Where am I? What is this? It's a slideshow that's happening in an improv game. Unreal. Unreal. And that is absolutely my tip of the cap. Pour one out for Xander and the production team. This was amazing. Great job. I'm sorry, Grimjack21502 on the Twitches and on the Twitters. You can see me tomorrow with Pruitt as we delve into Cthulhu on Encounter Roleplay from 1 to 4. You can see me on Friday on my own channel, Grimjack21502. If you fancy some Space Odyssey and some space opera, we have Firefly going on there from 2 to 4 Eastern. We also have on Saturday, I have a little thing over on D&D on Wizards of the Coast, doing a little bit of learn by play, but on my own channel from 2 to 4. I have the premiere of Project Chronos, which is my Pulp Cthulhu opus and secondary story that's opening in the same universe as my first show on Sunday, 7 to 9, Project Athena on my channel. So if you like Cthulhu, you like Firefly, show up, you'll enjoy yourself. And then starting later this month, we have Conan, Age Undreamed Of, which was just named RPG of the Year. So we'll see if I can do it justice. But you know what's really an injustice is that we've got to stop playing now. I want to keep going. I want to play. I want to make Ellery pissed some more. Ellery's captain's log next week. See you guys then.
Oh man, I cannot wait. You couldn't ask for a better time for Ellery to have to do the captain's log. It was just completely random, but everything that happened this episode was just like, I was thinking about that, like, well, right as we're wrapping up, I'm like, oh man, Ellery's going to be fucking vitriolic. So anyway, and moving on over to our everyone's favorite murder bot, Kiana.
Oh my God. I don't think I've ever been so stressed in an episode. Ever. I was shaking and hyperventilating. Holy shit. Everything from the epic battle to, the dream sequence to the RP moments of when we realized what had happened. Hands down, amazing, amazing stuff. Like, holy shit, everyone. And I don't think I've ever argued with E more in my life, in my head, throughout that combat. Because I was like, fucking goddamn it. Because I'm like, I want to save E. But E's trying to save people or raging. So, you know what? So, that's what I get for playing a malfunctioning murder robot who is having weird hallucinations now. So, that's cool. That's fine. Totally not dropping backstory plot hooks right there.
I don't know what you're talking about. These are your dreams, not mine.
But no, I just cannot wait for next Tuesday. See where we go. See what we find. Fucking hearken, motherfucker. Fucking ears. That's how I'm going to end that part. Anyways, you guys can find me over on Twitter at GennaS, which is kind of where I like to hang out and talk with people. I am all over the internet. On Sundays, I am on a podcast called Lady Slaying Dragons, which is me, two cool ladies, talking about tabletops and a round table discussion. Next Sunday, actually, I have a special thing for women in tabletop gaming where I am being the keeper for my first ever game. So see some Call of Cthulhu, where I get to throw them into a haunted house and fuck them up. So that'll be fun. On Mondays, I am on Account of Roleplay with Greg as my keeper, where he actually finally killed my character. So, definitely check that out. Tomorrow, I am on Scoticus channel running One Shot Wonders, which is me DMing a series of one-shots with a new setting every month. We are doing Ravenloft this month, which is super cool, and we just kind of announced that Feywild is in July and Dark Sun is in August, so that's going to be super fun. If you want in, definitely hit me up and I'll get you hooked up. On Saturdays, as Greg said, is the premiere of Project Chronos. I'm going to be on that. I am super, super excited because I had a super fucking awesome cast, and we got to do Pulp Cthulhu. It's going to be great. But yeah, until next week, guys, I'm just going to be here stressing over everything. Okay.
Yeah. And, some rather weird, erratic behavior from the Dawn Rose, too, which I don't know if anybody noticed that, but that's as much as I'll say about that. Anyway, yes, E had a very interesting episode. I don't
know what's happening to their brain.
Yeah, old files are being on the reboots and stuff. Yeah, you just who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, everybody, I had an amazing time tonight. That was like one of the coolest episodes of D&D I have ever run. I have just want to go ahead and get that out right now. That was fucking amazing. I probably will not be able to sleep tonight, but that's fine. 4 hours of work and then 9 hours of gaming tomorrow. I'm ready for it. So before we get out of here, of course, we got to give love to those that need it. And our producer, Brandon Herbert, at War Eagle Keep knocked it out of the fucking park tonight. I was distracted actually glancing at the windows of the dream. And so I actually kind of repeated some things because I was like reading my lines and like, oh shit. Anyway, absolutely did an amazing job. So thank you, sir. And also a good friend, Alexa Bonner, who draws all the art, and then Brandon usually kind of fills in with Photoshop and colorizes everything. It's very much like comic books where she does the inking, he does the coloring. So it is a team effort, but thank you to Alexa. Their Twitter handles are over in the chat. Follow them. Thank you to both. Our sponsors, or our sponsor, Tabletop Loot at www.tabletoploot.com. Use the WebDM15 code and get 15% off of some dice. Some very dice like this dice, or like this die, which by the way glows in the dark. You should get some of those. They're fucking awesome. They actually glow in the fucking dark. If you ever need to do some playing of D&D in the Underdark. Of course, please, if you don't already follow us or subscribe, go ahead and do that. If you got that Amazon Prime subscription, send that our way if you're bored. We're going to have more viewer decisions moving forward, things like that. We're kind of working those extensions into the program, so I'll get more used to that. But please come back next week. We'll continue this adventure amongst the stars. And as we always say, may the dice ever roll in your favor.